Hi everyone, here we are back in the Barber's Arms, back in the pub with some great guests. We've got my usual Oppo who isn't with us tonight. We've got Mr. Jack Ludlow from Dubai. How are we, Jack?
How are you doing, guys? Absolutely amazing. It's an absolute pleasure to be back on the Barber's Arms. I cannot believe how many episodes have happened since last time. So massive congratulations there. And it's an absolute pleasure to be here.
It's fantastic to see you. A lot's happened since you were last on the show, but we'll get on to that later. My name's Gary Machin. If you haven't caught the show before, you're going to see some great guests. We're going to have a little bit of banter, a little barber banter. We've got Jack here with us as well, so he's going to take us through his beer drinking experiences, and we're going to sample some beers at the same time as well. Unfortunately, we haven't got our usual Simon Shaw is not with us. He's going to be doing some other stuff. He's decided to wander on to pastures new. He's got a new show coming out called The Final Cut. He's been with us right from the very start. He's been an integral part of the show, and we wish him all the very best, and I love you, mate. We've got some great guests tonight. Mr. Rodrick Samuels, 2 times NAHA finalist, and this time he's gone and won it. So we're looking really forward to him coming on the show in a bit later on. Anybody who is watching tonight who hasn't caught the show before, if you go to, we've got 96 back episodes of podcasts. You can go to the YouTube channel and get it there. So Barber's Arms, just get it there. The British Barbers, you catch everything on there. We're also on all other platforms, which is Twitter, TikTok, all the usuals, Facebook. We do it all. So anybody needs any information about past swans, we've got it all covered. So Jack, you're in Dubai. Just take your little memory back for you. I'm just going to tell you, you were last on the show on the 1st of May, 2020, episode 4. And at that time, you were in Norway. Escape, I think the company's name was. So what happened since then, mate? Where are you now?
Absolutely. So basically, as you said, I'm currently now here in Dubai. It's been an amazing journey. You know, COVID was hard on everyone. I don't even like to say the word much, you know, because I like to keep the positivity like yourselves. You're on the Barber's Arms. But yeah, lots happened since then. I've basically ended up emigrating from Norway to Dubai just to pursue further opportunities and just diversify, as I always do throughout the industry, and just gain a lot of knowledge on the way as well. So yeah, I left Norway since last time we spoke. I remember when we first started talking, I was one of the first locations in the world that actually opened back up, and I remember providing that video for everyone, talking about the health and safety, and little did we know the rest of the world were going to be like that.
Well, you know, a lot's happened since then, I've just said. I mean, it was great at the beginning, you know, those early days. You were episode 4, and we were just talking about COVID. We didn't know where it was going. Lot has happened since then. A lot of beer under the bridge. Talking of beer, have you been on it already? You look a bit pale, mate. Are you feeling all right or what?
No, I've literally got an illness. You know, thankfully it's not a serious one anymore. But I was going to try my hardest to get out of this today. But I realised if I did that, then you would have brought me back to the time in Toronto where I didn't turn up for the trade show. So, so that's something that we can bring up anyway. That's definitely it. Tonight, I'm doing a little number called Iceberg. This is Titanic. This is a local beer all the way from Stoke-on-Trent, Burslem. So I travel miles today to get this. About 3 miles I had to go to fetch this. It's a fantastic beer. There's about 10 beers. 1985, this was started. 2 brothers, and they put Stoke-on-Trent on the map for perfect beers. They do 10 beers, and over the next couple of shows, we're going to introduce you to some of the best beers in Stoke. Got 10 of them to go through. I think we'll do perhaps 4 tonight, and then we'll go from there. What are you drinking anyway? I was about to say, literally, are you actually going to go for those beers? Because this show is probably going to go down like the Titanic if that happens. So I'm actually sat here drinking Prime, you know. It's owned by Congo Supplements, and it's literally a hydration drink. So I don't know if everyone knows this, but I don't actually drink. So I'm probably a boring act right here tonight, but I'm sure Gary will bring me out of my shell, as he always does.
So all them stories I've got lined up, Toronto, South Korea, Where were we? At Celtic Manor. All those times you let me down, nearly let me down, because of the dreaded drink. You've actually seen the light, have you?
Oh, mate, it just doesn't work for me, as we obviously know. So I have to stay away from you. You're the happiest man I know, so you just keep doing what you're doing.
Well, it looks like I'm going to have to drink for 2 of us tonight then. But I'd just like to say about this beer, I aren't a lager drinker for it, to be honest. But this iceberg, we did a fellowship. You know, the hairdressing fellowship, the British Hairdressing Fellowship. They came up to our place to do some. We had Project Men. And this was a little present off one of the guys who was up there. He came last year. And he's got Teddy's Groom Room. So it's Alex Burton down in Brighton. And he sent me this. And I said, as soon as I do the next show, I'm going to drink it and I'm going to toast it too. So there's to you, Alex. I'm drinking it up live on the show. Love you, mate. Thank you very much. And he's tucking into his practice. Do you know those prime drinks? All the kids are going mad for them over here, you know. They're swapping hands for about a tenner a piece.
I was literally saying to Trevor, and he didn't believe me, you know, especially in nightclubs as well. You've got buckets of prime, which are going for like serious money. It's absolutely crazy. So yeah, I think it's probably going to overtake the price of alcohol anyway. So maybe they'll be selling this in the pub soon.
Well, I tell you, do you know what? I was out somewhere and we had some young lads, some young customers in the shop, and they were buying empty. They do them in all different colours, don't they? They do it. I think in prime red, green, black, special edition. It's the right money. People are buying empty bottles for more than full bottles. Can you believe that? It's just ridiculous.
Well, yeah, I could believe it. I can believe it. You know, like when you think if Logan Paul and KSI can pull this off, can you imagine what people would want to do with the empty bottle you've been drinking out of?
Well, call me old-fashioned, mate, but I'm going to stick to the local brew. I'm going to stick to the beer anyway. But we've got loads more. Anytime IPA, I'm going to save that one for you. I'm going to save this one for Trevor. Raspberry Pale Ale. That's a nice one.
That suits Trevor.
This one Trevor. For your lady. Cappuccino Stout. Look at that, baby. And then
just to keep her awake.
Yeah, and then this is for my lady. Chocolate and vanilla stout. How good's that going to be? So I'm going to get me way through a few of these tonight. Not all of them, because I've got to save some for the next show, I've been told. I've actually bought tonight. I don't know if I've got the box, but I called down the brewery and it's called a pub in the box. Not Gary's pub. It's a pub you get absolutely everything. Not only do you get the glass, you get nibbles. So you get crisps, you get 10 beers, you get coasters, you get a little storyboard, you get even a pub quiz in it as well. So you've got an instant pub straight in a box, 30 quid. How good's that?
Sounds like valleys, mate.
Well, I've been there and you've been there a long time and nobody drinks as much as you guys in the valleys. That's why you peaked too early. That's what's happened to you. You peaked too early in your drinking career, and now you're in Dubai in rehab, aren't
you? In rehab. I thought you said Riyadh then.
No. You don't want to go there.
I thought you said Riyadh. I was actually there doing the football players here when they went to Qatar. So all the Saudi football team went to Riyadh. That was a really good experience, actually. You know what I mean?
So,
but it's like
what you're actually doing there then? You're still hairdressing. I know you've got loads of different aspects to your work now. You're still in education. So give us a taste of what a day in the life of Jack Ludlow in Dubai is that.
I just sleep for the whole day and then wake up and then I get a phone call off you and Trevor. Do you want to do a bit on this? Absolutely not. No, of course. We're working our ass off. We're working hard. We're working with a few different brands at the moment, helping them through a strategy that we've created called SB, stands for Education, Sales, Business and Expansion. So it's a full consultancy package where we help people grow depending on their goals. It doesn't matter how big their goals are as long as we help them achieve them. So wake up in the morning, go to the gym, working from my computer for the majority of the day, unless we're doing video shoots or photo shoots. But a lot of the stuff that we're doing is like remote work at the moment, but it is nice. And we actually do get to travel to the establishments and see the businesses, see the companies. You know, we had a bit of luck earlier on today as well with a project that we've been waiting for a while in the UK. We're actually in the process of taking over 2 salons, one in Gloucester and one in Cheltenham. So we pretty much closed that today. So that's a real nice thing. So yeah, a little bit all over the place, multi-locations, but you know, it's like, you know, we just keep pushing and pushing and pushing and see what comes.
So are you going to be back in the UK a little bit, looking after these salons, or is it going to be remote, or have you got somebody to run them, or what?
My business partner, Lewis Bassett, he will probably be doing the majority of the work on the ground over there. And I'll be working remotely and stuff like that. But like, I'll get back as much as I can. Obviously, I'm interested in being part of a new team. As soon as the paperwork's signed, I'll name the salon. It's a great team, fantastic, and we're looking to like establish that and put it part of our group. And yeah, it's going to be cool, man. Be really
cool.
Good.
So you brought up, you're still fitness mad. Then you're off the beer. So the boxing career would be absolutely flying now. Then you had your first fight. Your comeback fight was. How did that go?
I had my comeback fight, and the comeback fight was probably as good as if I had a comeback to the beer. I was on the floor in 2 minutes. Now it wasn't that bad. Great guy called Ollie. Was training my ass off. He's a big unit, and that's the good thing about the exhibitions over here. You get to fight people that you would never ever normally have the chance to fight in. Like big guy, 6'1", big unit. You know, really hard to hit, punching against gravity. He was almost as fast as you. That's why the previous T-shirt I had on was the Muhammad Ali one, because it reminds me so much of Gary Machin. And Trevor told me to change my T-shirt, but never mind. But yeah, it went down like a lead balloon, to be honest, guys.
Well, I hope it wasn't as painful as it sounds, but I mean, I think you had a promising career. Listen, you love it, don't you? I see you out every morning. I mean, because how many hours are you in front of us?
3 hours at the moment. 3 hours at the moment, yeah.
So you're up early anyway. So you're up even earlier, and you two flirting messages to me like 4, 5 o'clock in the morning. You wonder why I don't answer any messages, like, because you two are out. I mean, I've tried to phone Trevor, the producer, today, and he was at the gym. What's happening? No drinking, gym, cold water bath. I don't get it.
Loads of machines. There's a vending machine as well. Yeah. I mean, just in case. I don't have to take on them Titanic boxes there, but they have got a few vending machines.
See, up and down. That's all you need. Keep that arm
size and biceps.
Oh, you see, you can't cope, can you? I was just talking to a young lady who looked after me in the bar. They've got, well, when you come over again, this brewery has not only taken over a storm. They're producing 4 million pints a year now, but they bought 15 pubs as well. So next time you're in town, what we're going to have to do is have, I think I'd have a pint, you can have half in every pub that we go to, and then we'll go off with a bit of a set. That's what
we'll only last 3 pubs.
But do you know why they call it Titanic Brewery?
What does that mean?
Well, the captain of the ship Titanic was born in Stoke-on-Trent. He was Captain Smith, and he went down with his ship. And the chains to, the anchor chains to the Titanic, they were built and manufactured in about a mile from my shop as well. So we've got quite a good link. Not as good as Belfast, but we've got quite a good link. So that's why it's now called, all the beers are White Star or, Iceberg or different Last Chance and things like that. So that's why it's called Titanic Ale Brewery. So
it's amazing.
So,
when was a huge thing as well. Go ahead, mate. Go ahead.
Go on.
You almost thought you were back in Toronto then, didn't you? Because I wouldn't give you a chance to speak on the stage.
Well, do you really want me to go there as well? Your adoring fans around the world will find out that you flaked on me on the day that we took you out to Toronto to represent the BBA. and you took it too fast, too hard on the night before our showcase. We'd even paid for all the models. We got you over there, paid for all the models, and then you went missing in action. And you came back wearing a furry girl's jacket, I remember. Or who's I think that was a bloke's jacket.
It was
a
furry jacket. It was a furry girl's jacket that was worn by a male model. Because obviously I didn't dress appropriately because I always do it, whether I'm in Norway, whether I'm in Toronto. And Zomba, one of the models, he was like, "Do you like this jacket?" I was like, "Yeah." Not really. Do you know what I mean? It's not my style at all. But he was like, "Oh, do you want to wear it?" I was like, yeah, no problem. Turns round, I walked back to the show because I was freezing cold. It wasn't that cold that time of year, but it was cold. A lot colder than the UK was at that time. We literally turned up then, and I'm sat there wearing a girl's jacket that I believe is a boy's jacket because one of the models let me lent it.
You know, it wasn't funny at the time because we had a model call, didn't we? I think it was something like 7:15. We were doing the showcase that we were doing. I think it was 9:20 or something. And we got to do 4 shows that day, hadn't we, on the runway. And the guy whose jacket you had on, he was a strange sort. He looked like some off a pirate ship, didn't he? Can you remember? He came as a hair model, but wouldn't let us cut his hair. Can you remember? He got the hair down here, hadn't he?
Mad. Literally just style it. I couldn't. But the funniest thing is, like, can you imagine, like, all of his friends turned up that day for us as well? You know, one of them shows where everything's planned perfectly, but then there's teething problems of everything same as. And then it's got like 4 or 5 mates to turn up. Do you know what I mean? Real good guys as well. It was an amazing show, to be honest. Do you know what I mean? Can you remember any of it?
Of course I can. I was keeping it all together. And Brian was chewing me ear off at the same time. And can you remember the whiskey bar in the hotel? There was a whole bar just with whiskies in.
Yeah, that was 100%. I'm gonna forget that.
I think that was our downfall, or your downfall. It's just you aren't trained yet. You still have to get up for work when you do these things. Yes, it's a great weekend, but you still have to get up, mate. That's the thing. And not wear girls' clothes at the same time. That's a plus.
I was only 16 when I went. I was only 16 years old.
We're not. It was 2000.
I was 16 years old.
What was he? 18 or 2018, 2019, something like that.
2017. Rebel Hair and Beauty, 2017, I think it was.
Oh, was it?
Yeah, it was a great show. Yeah, it was when literally. It was BBA headlining with Larissa Love and Matty Conrad.
That was right, yeah. Larissa Love, she was tasty as well, wasn't she? She had more entourage than we had models. She was unbelievable.
I thought it was Madonna.
Big hat. Big hat. That's what I remember of Larissa Love.
Yeah.
As I said, we've got some great guests on tonight. So I'm not going to tempt you into having a beer at all tonight. Then I'm going to have to rely on our guests to help me out, Thomas.
Sorry, mate. It's not the first time I've said sorry, is it?
Right. So anybody who can't understand Jack, we will put subtitles up at the end of the show, just so you know, put them on. So because he is from the back, it has softened a bit, Jack. I think it's definitely softened your accent. Has it? Are you speaking more Arabic? Is that what's happening?
Slightly, you know what I mean? But I still can't understand anyone off Emmerdale Farm, so you have to bear with me.
Oh, you have to just get that in, don't you? I aren't even from Yorkshire, I aren't. So you're saying the wrong thing there. It won't hurt me. Any Yorkshire jokes won't at all. So
you look like Captain Up with that moustache, though.
Anybody who's out there, remember, if you need to watch any back podcasts, any back episodes, please go to the British Barbers. Also, it's on the YouTube channel, so you can pick out what you want. It's also already on the podcast as well. You can pick those up as well. And obviously, if you search it on Facebook and Instagram, you'll get all that as well. It's getting to that time where we're going to have a new guest on. So we've got NAHA finalist, Mr. Samuel Rodrick. So we're going to bring him. I think he's pulling into the car park as we speak. We've got to catch him. He's on a little fine line on time because he's you know, everybody wants his time at the moment, and of course he's in Detroit, so the mother of music there, Detroit City. So we're going to wait 2 seconds. I'm sure he's going to be in the car park as we are talking. Mr. Samuel Rodrick is following. So here we go, Barber's Arms. We've got one of the all-stars from Detroit, Mr. Rodrick Samuels in the house.
Absolute pleasure to see you, Rodrick.
Hey, listen, it's good to be seen. It's better to be viewed. You know what I mean? Could have been a lot worse.
Rodrick, it's a long time since we spoke, man. And I'd give you your intro earlier on. I bigged you up, you know, second time that you've been nominated, and then this time, third time lucky you've been. But you were for Barber of the Year, weren't you, before? And this is another level, man.
You know, this actually is another level. So I want to say hello to everybody coming to you guys live from Detroit, Michigan, Motor City, Motown. Again, my name is Rodrick, and yeah, you know, the first year I was nominated in 2017, that was for Men's Hairstylist of the Year, and I can honestly say that the nomination is nowhere as fucking cool than winning. Nowhere is cool. But yeah, you know, I am a practicing barber. Got into the school business in 2006. I started my first school that was in South Carolina, and I met a beautiful woman by the name of Lauren, who is now my wife, and we had a very successful salon in downtown Detroit. And you know, we're getting a little bit older now, you know, back starting to hurt a little bit, feet starting to hurt a little bit. So we decided to take our influence and education and just wanting to share and give back to our community. And we started a school, which was Hair Lab Detroit Barber School. So it's been a real cool journey, man.
And that, you know, thanks, man. I'm not quite sure if you're aware of it, Jack, but he's got a superstar wife as well. He's not only a superstar, he's got a superstar wife as well, who, you know,
absolutely palatine.
Hair Lab and Detroit Barber School, but NAHA Educator of the Year 23, twice finalist for Barber of the Year. But Lauren, I don't know if you know this, is a NAHA winner as well. And for the guys out there who we keep using these acronyms, don't we? You know, I know we're all over the world. We've got people in the UK. North American Hairdressing Awards, which is the equivalent of the British Hairdressing Awards. So when you think about this is no easy feat. This is a family of superstars. And when did Lauren win the NAHA? She won it for texture, didn't she?
So Lauren has, you know, my wife is so famous, I can't even get her off of my Zoom chat. You know what I mean? Like her name is still on everything. And it's a little weird because, you know, people think I'm my wife and we, you know what, we don't look alike. So my wife is a 6-time finalist in the North American Hairstyling Awards. She's a 2-time winner. She won in 2015 and she won in 2021. Her first one was in texture and the second one was in People's Choice. So she's actually the rock star in our family. You know, I'm just the charisma.
Oh, yeah.
That's all I do. I'm just the charisma.
You're a great sidekick, though. I mean, you make a fantastic couple. Just
Gary, you know, Batman needs Robin. Peanut butter needs jelly. I need Lauren. That's just.
Just quickly, Jack. Lightweight tonight, Rodrick. We've done the first part of the show, and this is 2 shows on the trot now that he's been on a girls' drink, and I'm not saying that disrespectfully, but he's. What are you drinking tonight, mate? Just shame him. What are you drinking tonight?
Yeah, Jack, what you sipping on, brother?
Oh, bro, always the same. always drinking some sort of hydration drink. One of the biggest reasons is because I'm coming at you from Dubai, and literally right now it's approaching 1:15 in the morning. You know what I mean? So I have to keep those energy levels high, but without the caffeine. So it is a good drink. I hope they're going to endorse me for this. You know,
Jack. You know what? This is my second time on the Barber's Arms show, and this is an actual disgrace, Jack. I can't believe you came up on here without a cocktail. We don't care what time it is in the morning, man. It's us, man. No, I'm just teasing. Listen, stay hydrated because we need you on the show.
Hey, Rodrick, we have to treat him like one of our students. Keep hydrated.
I mean, I never expected to actually treat Jack with kid gloves on tonight. You know, I don't know, you know.
Come on,
Jack, to be honest with you, man, what a disgrace, Jack. I gotta just be honest with you, brother. No.
Come on, give it to him, Rodrick. What are you drinking?
Every single episode, Gary just wants to talk about how much he holds my hands anyway. So as long as I got gloves on in this episode, he won't get to hold them anyway.
Come on, Rodrick.
What do me a favor, bro.
What? Jack wants all the smoke tonight. That's what it is.
Yeah.
We made that one clear, didn't we? I'm up
Gary,
Jack
is our designated driver tonight.
Yeah.
I
like
that.
These guys are going in on me.
I can cope with that. That's not a problem. Designated drivers have a place in the world. It's as long as it isn't me or you. That's fine.
Tonight, Jack.
So how much am I getting paid tonight then? Seriously.
You know what, Jack? We're going to pay you no attention. We're going to pay you.
That's amazing.
You let yourself into that one, Jack. So I think that's enough of the Jack shaming. That's enough of the Jack shaming. Now we get on to a little bit of serious business now.
For sure.
So go on, name your drink. It looked very large and black. So what are you drinking, Rodrick?
So this is called, not to be confused with the Wu-Tang Clan, but this is called Dirty Bastard. It's made.
So now Gary can start having some smoke, yeah?
Yeah, so now Gary gets the smoke. So Gary, let me tell you a little bit about the Wu-Tang Clan. This is called Dirty Bastard by Founders, who it's a brewery in Michigan. So, you know, I like to drink local and keep it local, you know. But it's super, super tasty. It's a stout. And not normally in my wheelhouse, but I figured that, you know, if I'm hanging out with the Brits, I can't drink light beer. It'll make me look really, really weird, and I don't want to get teased by Gary. Well, you know what? Let me rephrase that. I won't look as weird as Jack. How about that? Won't look like Jack tonight.
Well, we've gone with the stout tonight, and
okay, Gary, what you got, man? What are you sipping on?
So this is a brewery. This is about 3 miles from my home. So this is a cappuccino stout.
You know what? We should have gave that to Jack to wake him up.
Well, he doesn't like caffeine, so it'd be wasted on him.
Can't drink caffeine. Can't drink alcohol. I might as well quit while I'm ahead.
It's Titanic. It's our local brew. It's a brew called Titanic.
Okay.
Titanic Ales. So it's absolutely fantastic, mate. Good health.
You know what? Tonight we actually don't need Jack because we have a dirty bastard on the Titanic. We win. We win. How about that, Gary?
Yeah.
And all Jack is the anchor.
Okay, Jack, you're out of the equation now. Let's get back to the serious stuff.
Right.
That was the last one, Jack. That was the last one.
We'll get back to the show. Do you realise, Rodrick? I know you brought it up and you've been on the show before, but you were last on the show 25th of September 2020. Can you believe it?
You know what? It's been too long, to be honest with you. And man, so much has changed in the last, couple of years. And I'm just, honestly, I'm glad to be a barber. I'm glad to be one in a number. And I'm just really, really blessed to have such amazing friends like you, and Trevor. And I just met Jack, who I really dislike tonight. But I'm just teasing. But no, it's just really, it's just really, really good to have good people, man. And, to stay the path. So many people have left our industry, pre-pandemic, and, things that were going on within our world. It's just really, really good that, that sense of resilience that a lot of successful barbers have kind of kept me afloat and kept my head in the game.
Well, I mean, we've had some great reviews, and obviously last time you were on, Simon was with us, and it was, we were episode 24, I think, something like that. So it was getting on through the pandemic. Pandemic wasn't over. Things have changed though, mate, haven't they? The industry's changed. Are you back traveling as much as you were? I know, I can remember you were, I think the last time, I don't know if it's the last time you were in London, it probably is, 2017, Salon International. We were working together on the BBA stage.
Yeah, the last time that we traveled internationally was definitely in 2017. We just started picking back up traveling. I want to say maybe the last 3 or 4 months, to be honest with you. Having a school and, being a director of education, it takes a lot of work. It takes a lot of time to put together something that's, I would like to call, very unique in our approach to training up and coming barbers. It takes a lot of work. It takes a lot of time, but also, being a dad, and, my son's in college, and my daughter, her birthday is today. She turned 17, and I'm sitting here drinking a beer with y'all fools. And shout out to girl dads, you know what I mean? I'll be joining her later on.
Rodrick, what's her name?
What's that?
What's your daughter's name?
Oh, her name is Addison.
Addison, big shout out, big up Addison.
Happy birthday, Addison. Absolutely amazing.
Yeah, baby girl.
Oh, fantastic.
She turned 17, and for some reason, my wallet got turned inside out when she turned 17. So,
it only gets worse, mate. It only gets worse.
Guys, you were just talking about international travel, yeah, and obviously all the different shows and stuff, and like guys like yourselves have inspired me since I was younger in the hair industry, and seeing what people do on stages, the accolades, the awards that you could win is huge. But Rodrick, I know you do a lot of stuff inside the community as well, so it's not just on the stage. Yourself and your wife are superstars and inspirations to the industry, but a lot of stuff you do is community led as well, right?
Oh, absolutely. The foundation of every small business, especially barbershops, is the community. So whether it be going into our local high schools, doing career fairs, teaching and sharing with high school juniors and seniors about the amazing career that they could have being barbers or barber stylists. We support so many other organizations. March was autism awareness month. We did a little bout with that. March is also colon cancer month here in the States, so we did something with that. Just making sure that our students understand that we don't live, being a barber is not just about take. It's about giving back too. My dad, he always liked to use the analogy about the graveyard. He said, when you're in business for yourself, you can't have the graveyard mentality where everything's going in and nothing's coming back out. He said, you always have to make sure that you feed into the community that's helping to feed your family and provide a life for you, So that's always been something that's been very, very deeply rooted in me, is being selfless, being a barber and just even sharing like your skills and talents with people, giving away free haircuts for people that are less fortunate. Those are the things that I want my students to see. And for me, it's about leading by example. I never do anything, whether it be my students or my staff. I'll never ask them to do anything that I'm not willing to do. So a lot of times I'm in the trenches right with them. If we have a lot of clients that are on our shop floor, guess what? I'll go grab my clippers and I'll jump in and help out. I think that helps to build camaraderie. But also when you think about trade schools and schools, you know, here in the States, like barber schools, that actually shows a lot of leadership. You know, I need my students and just anybody who's around me and in my circle to know that I'm no better than the next person. If we got to get down and dirty and cut 100 heads for nothing, as long as I'm helping somebody, I know it's going to come back to me, you know, 2, 4, 5 times fold. So I'm good at that, man. It warms my soul, actually.
Do you know what, Rodrick? I think that'll pull with a lot of our barbers around the world. I think it happens all around the world, man. You know, I know Detroit is a lovely place, as in community, people looking out for each other, very tight knit. But I think that goes around the world. Okay, you know, you get certain barbershops that think they can go it alone. But I think all around, I've traveled all over, and barbershops are the center of the community, center of people's lives. Sometimes it's a destination. It's not just something you pass by, and people are quite loyal. They're really loyal, you know.
Absolutely.
And I think that's you know, from your point of view, it's commendable as well that you give back. Actually, next week, probably not. I don't know if it's next week, but the next show that we've got on, we've got a guy named Sam Martin. He's got two barbershops in north of England, and he has. Let me just make sure. Pay what you want Wednesday. So this is a question I'm going to give him next week or next show, and just on a Wednesday, because the cost of living has gone through the roof. Through his barbershops, he has a policy of every Wednesday you can have a haircut, you can access a haircut or a shave, and you pay what you want. You can pay 1 pence or £1 to £100. You know, his average bill is about 25, 30 quid, and they allow you to pay anything on a Wednesday. And I mean, how good is that? That's just
incredible.
Fantastic.
Yeah, that's remarkable. You know, are you guys familiar with the build a bear concept? Yeah. So it's a store, you go in and you can build your own teddy bear. Yeah. So they had the marketing project that they did was kind of something similar to what they did was you pay your age for this Build-A-Bear. They had so many people till they ran out of product, but it was like the biggest amazing marketing scheme that was the most horrible idea that they could ever have, you know. But definitely giving back. And, you know, there's times, especially in metropolitan Detroit, there's a lot of people who aren't as fortunate as we are. And, you know, they do need help. And it's just amazing. People don't understand, like, you can shape heads and shape someone's life just with a haircut. Like, it's the most rewarding feeling in the world, especially when you see people that you're training have that same feeling. You know, it's that transfer of energy. You know, the student has a client in a chair, and there was a matter of fact, it had happened a little while ago. There was a young lady who came in. She was disabled. We held the door open for her and everything like that. My students saw her coming from her car, ran to the doors, right? That's our culture. It's, if I'm looking down at you, it's to help you up. Ran to the door, opened up the door for her, sat her down, and gave her an amazing experience. And I think that's what the barber industry, we need to really focus on right now is anybody can give a great haircut, but are we creating an amazing experience for our guests? Are we creating an amazing experience for our clients? She gets her haircut, she stands up and she says, you know what? When I walked in today, I was feeling really, really down on myself and really sad because, you know, I'm having some challenges walking, whatever the case may be. That just warmed our students' heart, and it warmed my heart. They understood that me teaching and sharing and preaching about giving back also helped them to feel good about themselves and doing a good deed and doing the good work. So, you know,
it's a full-blown education of life as well. Then you're not just teaching barbering; you're teaching people like life skills and how to be as a human being. You know, and the reciprocates, I guarantee.
You know what, Jack? Whether it be soft skills, how to speak to people, customer service, it's not about who's right; it's about what's right. Like 1,000%, like life skills. people fail to realize that we're not in the hair business, we're in the people business. And when you can
100%.
get into people, when you understand something as simple as when a person sits down in your barber chair, if they plop down really, really hard, you can tell that person's had a very, very tough day. If they bubbly and they're happy, oh my God, it's so glad to see you, you can tell that that's a person that is super excited about getting a haircut, and you don't have to worry about them. People are excited about what you're excited about. For all of our listeners out there who don't understand, people are excited about what you're excited about. So if you have a guest come sit in your barber chair and they plop down and they may be having a hard day, have some empathy and hey, are you okay? Like, what's going on? Ask those questions, because that's going to lead to a lifetime of that client coming back to you, not because of what you did to their hair, but how you made them feel.
100%. We've got actually a seminar called The Business of Feelings of my education, and it's customer service based, and it's like obviously product revenues as well. And people think sales is about selling, but it's really not. It's about educating and building trust, because obviously to gain trust, everything has to be legitimate. So I'm totally aligned with what you're saying there. Absolutely. 100%.
Do you know what? The thing with Rodrick, I don't know if you've ever seen him, Jack, or if you've seen him on YouTube or seen any of his classes or anything, but you're not going away from his class or not either inspirationalized, enthused. You come away, man, with a massive smile. He's got the best laugh, the biggest, best laugh in the world. And
almost as good as yours, man.
He is something, you think, even I you come away, I don't need inspiration in my day-to-day life. I really want to do well. I want to treat people well. You want to build that business. But when you come away from talking or being with Rodrick, even for 5 minutes, it's just unbelievable life.
I see that already. I can see that literally already. Just from meeting him now.
And when you work with him, he's it's just, and you've got to see his big scissors as well and his comb as well. He's got a really really cool way of getting that across, and I love it. So
it out, right? There has to be some message. You know what? There has to be some messaging behind it. Just in my experience of being an educator, people remember more information when they're having a good time. So I came up with the concept of edutainment. I like to educate as well as entertain, right? So see, Gary's laughing at me right now. No punchline. How about that? Tell you how good I am at my job, right?
It's amazing. Have you heard of Patrick Bet-David?
I'm sorry?
Have you heard of a guy called Patrick Bet-David? He's a motivational entrepreneur. He's got a YouTube channel called Valuetainment. So it's so similar, the concept. It's amazing. Yeah. So good.
Well, I like to educate as well as entertain. It makes the time go by faster. And you never really, I had a tagline that I would use for my classes. I would talk about business, and I would have the crowd say, if it doesn't make dollars, it doesn't make sense.
100%.
I'm walking around the trade show floor, right? If it don't make dollars, it don't make sense. I'm like, I'm trying to eat. I'm having dinner with my wife. That's what's up. I'm like, okay, you shouldn't say that right now. We're not in class. That was 5 hours ago. But you know what? If you guys are familiar with the Paul Mitchell brand, Robert Cromeans, he said something. It was earlier this year, or maybe it was last year, but he said something that was very profound. I was watching him on stage one day, and he said, "Either you'll be remembered, or you'll be forgotten." So many layers to that one statement. When you're thinking about building the clientele, right? You want to do something that's memorable. When you're teaching a class, you want to do something that's memorable. We don't want to be forgotten. You don't want people to forget the information that you are literally dying to give them, So I wanted to come up with something conceptually, number one, because I want to be my authentic self. I'm a jokester. I like to have a good time. Back when I was a little bit younger, Gary, I used to party, okay? Doing my thing.
Still do.
Well, I mean, I do what I do. I take calculated risks now. I gotta put my pinky finger up, you know. I need to be like Jack drinking a Powerade right now, but I'm going to my daughter's birthday party with at least one in me, you know.
It's gonna be a good day though.
But yeah, I take calculated risk now, and you know, I want to make sure that if you're leaving my class, or whether it be, you know, inside of my school or somewhere on the road traveling, I want to make sure that everybody that attends or is in my presence takes at least one thing home. That's super, super important to me. And 9 times out of 10, that comes with a tagline. I want them to remember some of the things that they've learned, they've taught, something that sparks an idea in their mind. Like, all that stuff is super, super important to me as an educator. So I do my best to make it unique.
Do you know what? Do you know what, Rodrick? I just need to bring this up for the guys that are watching, and I know we've spoke about this, but it's really, really, really important for people to realise what you have achieved at the NAHA. So you've just won Educator of the Year. You're a barber. You know, the people you were put up against as well, which was unbelievable. You know, respect to those people. But I mean, we've always been the poor cousin to the hairdressing world, and you've done it on the top stage, on the top table of the North American Hairdressing Awards, and you have taken it away. Oh, and by the way, I watched your acceptance speech, and you smashed that out the world, out the actual stadium as well. So I was so proud of you, so pleased for you as well. I thought absolutely fantastic. So, you know, from your point of view, how did that feel? You must have been unbelievably proud of that moment.
You know what? I'm sitting in the crowd, and my wife is sitting next to me, and she said, "Babe, you're going to win." I was like, "Oh, you know, it's my wife. It's kind of her job to like boost me up." You know what I'm saying? Like, oh, he's my husband, you know, he's going to win. What I didn't realize is that my wife is an empath. So weird, right? So we're sitting there, they're calling out the finalists, and Sam Villa, who's, you know, he's been a good friend of mine for years, and he won the first ever Educator of the Year award a couple years back. He actually presented me with the award, so that was really special. But when I heard my name called, man, I blacked out for sure. Like, I was like, they want me. Oh my God, they want me. What's going on? So I'm sitting there, I'm hugging my wife, and the place gets silent. I don't know. I can't, you know what? And normally it's hard to shut me up, Jack. I literally have no words for that feeling. It was very surreal. And man, you know, it took me 27 years to become an overnight success. What the freak, right? 27 years to become an overnight success. How about that? You know?
That's incredible.
So we got to take photos. We got to take pictures of Sam and I. And I just look over the crowd, and I see all these students and some of my peers, and I just let it rip, man. My wife was like, "Babe, I know that, you know, you're a very upstanding person. You know, you keep everything very PC. It's you've used the right terminology, whatever." It's just like, listen, you can never win this award again. Say what you want to say. This is my wife told. She said that. She's like, say what you want to say. So a couple of weeks before, I'm sitting in the living room. I'm working on my speech, and I'm like, man, this speech is horrible. There's no way I can be nominated for Educator of the Year, and I can't even put a damn sentence together, right? So my wife loves TikTok, like everybody else's wife loves TikTok, right? She sees this speech of Snoop Doggy Dogg, and this is when he got his star on the Hollywood Walk of Fame, and he said, "I'd like to thank me." I'd like to thank me for all his hard work. She's like, babe, you gotta do that. You gotta say it. I'm like, girl, nobody will hire me ever again. What are you talking about? You can't be up there talking about, I want to thank me. What kind of selfish shit is that? So then I go through my regular speech, and of course, we're in California. That's where Snoop's from. I'm like, and last but not least but not last, I find it fitting, since we're in California, I want to thank me. And I said it, and that was the most powerful, nerve-wracking moment of my entire life. I couldn't believe I was my authentic self. So thank you.
It's amazing though, and so true though. Why shouldn't you thank yourself? Like external motivation is one thing, but when you're internally motivated, it's the most powerful thing in the world. You know what I mean?
Yeah, you know what? I'm going to give you my wife's phone number so y'all can talk about it. You agreeing with her right now, Jack? This is my first time meeting you. I'm trying to like you, Jack. Don't blow it, okay? No, but you know what though? You know what, man? I've been an educator for 19 years, licensed educator for 19 years. I've been cutting hair professionally for 27 years. You know what? Yeah, you're right. I need to thank me. There's been several times where I wanted to give up. There's been hundreds of times where I wanted to quit. But thank God for parents and good people, good friends who continue to push you and drive you in the right direction, even when you don't see it yourself. You know, John Mosley, good friend of mine, man. Just he actually won Educator of the Year before too. Phenomenal barber, dad, friend. Ivan Zoot, who is one of my mentors, Guinness Book of World Records, fastest haircuts, all this other stuff, man. Larry Curtis, who put the seed in me to do a school again. Like, I don't know, man. Gary, anytime I come over to the UK, brother, I got to see you. Like, working with you on the BBA stand was just an amazing, incredible feat for me. I don't know, man. I just thank the universe for good people and having good people in my corner, but also people who believe and see things in me that I don't see in myself.
It's collaboration, mate, as well, isn't it? You know, we travel all over the place, and sometimes you just need that pat on the back. You know, you're great. You know you're a great. You fulfill your students. You get students licensed, but you don't only license them. You give them the skills to go and make a living. But sometimes you just need that reassurance, that pat on the back to say, yeah, you're doing it right. You know, and when that comes from your peers, doesn't get any better than that, mate, does it at all? You know.
No, I'll be honest with you though, yeah. Talking from someone that's only a little bit younger than you guys, it is true, and it's so effective. Not getting too soppy, right? But it is. Like, I've had the ability to be taken around the world with a BBA to work on the stage of Gary Machin, and now Gary Machin is asking me to be a part of this interview with someone like yourself. You know, do you know how inspiring that is? To look at two people like yourselves and see them in the same room and be a part of it. So I'm grateful, you know, and that's the truth. And that's the only soppy thing you'll hear me say, because I don't want to make Gary cry.
Jack, if you pull Gary's beer away from him, he's going to bawl. He'll ugly cry.
I know.
Do you know what though? I think in the barbering industry, especially, I mean, there's good and bad in everywhere, isn't there? But especially the barber industry, everybody's so tight and pulling in the same way, pulling in the same direction. And, you know, there's some egos all over the place, but especially in hairdressing. But I met Sam Veer. I was working in Salt Lake City. What's the big academy in Salt Lake City? Is that Larry's place?
Yeah, Taylor Andrews.
Yeah, Taylor Andrews.
Yeah.
I was working in Taylor Andrews, and Sam Veer I was there for 2 days, and Sam Veer was following me in, and I was like, oh, please do it, you know. And sometimes you do get to that point where you think, oh my God, I'm shaking out. I'm standing in Salt Lake City, it's snowing, I'm working at Taylor Andrews Academy, and I'm shaking Sam Veer's hand, you know, and I'm like,
what a hoot.
What? How did I even get here? You know? Yeah. You know, it's just... It's such a rewarding and fantastic industry, and so take you anywhere, mate, can't you? How can you beat that? And what a story you've got. You're absolutely an inspiration to all of us, and it should be to your students and everyone. And I've seen some of your students' feedback as well. So that'll make me cry that well if we play that on the thing. But it's absolutely fantastic.
They put together our social media director, Candace. She had a meeting when Lauren and I flew out to California for the show. And she had a meeting with the students and the staff, and they were like, you know what, they call me Mr. Sams. Let's let Mr. Sams know how proud of him we are. And man, just, you know, it was very, very touching to say the least. You come to work every day, you do what you know to do, you make an effort to do the right thing. It's not about who's right, it's about what's right. And sometimes I'll be completely transparent. You just don't know if you're reaching those people. You know, you just don't know if you're reaching, especially my I call them my babies, but my younger students, my 18, 19-year-olds, like they're so vested into Instagram and TikTok and Snapchat and YouTube, where sometimes as a veteran like myself, 27 years in the industry, I don't know if they understand or believe that the things that I've been able to accomplish in my career are possible. What I make the effort to do is explain to them some of the things that are necessary for them to achieve those things, you know. But hearing them speak like that without me yelling at them or threatening them or something like that, get your ass together, you know, like to see they did that. I do say that underneath my breath, of course, but to hear their true authentic selves and how they truly felt about me, that's probably the best gift that I've received probably in my life, man, to be honest with you.
That's
very inspiring.
How can you top that? That's just impossible.
Yeah.
Man,
you know,
it's been an absolute pleasure. I could speak to you all night, but I know you've got a party to go to.
Somebody's got to go to bed. It's 1 o'clock in the morning.
I got no chance now. I've had 2 primes. I think that actually is caffeine.
You should come to Las Vegas right now. Then you should go to Vegas.
No, man, I'll be there.
You'll be up all night anyway.
So
Gary, before we go, are you putting Jack to bed? Are you tucking him in, or should I read the bedtime story to Jack? Jack, that's my last one for you, brother. I promise. But do we need to change his diaper? Do we need to burp him? Like, what do we need to do so Jack?
He's done himself an injustice, really, Rodrick, because he can stay up with the best of them. I've witnessed it, and I've seen him do it as well. It's only because he's choosing to be prime boy tonight. When I'm on the show, he wants to be responsible. Yeah. I don't know if he's trying to impress somebody. I don't know if his girlfriend's watching.
I'm always trying to impress you. Trying to impress you. Come on. After that time, you had to take me home on the train. He thinks he's Thomas the Tank Engine.
Jack, trying to impress Gary is like getting stabbed at a shootout. It's not supposed to happen. It's
honestly though, I actually did impress him once. I think I drank a pint of beer in 3 seconds, and I impressed him.
You know what? I'm impressed. Like, can I get your autograph? Like, dang, man.
Hey, it isn't all about the beer. It isn't. You're getting me wrong here. You're getting me wrong, anyway. Mr. Samuel, Mr. Sams, as your students call you.
You call me that now.
Rodrick, you have been an absolute pleasure, mate. I am so proud to be part of your celebration, because you are a gentleman, and you are what we call a scholar when we talk about beer, but also you should be very, very proud of yourself, sir. It's been an absolute pleasure having you on the Barbers' Arms. Hopefully we will call or get to see you in the person and have a beer with you wherever. As soon as I'm back in the States, I will be dropping into Detroit. That's for a fact. But it's been an absolute pleasure, mate.
Love you too.
Listen,
Absolutely, man.
Thank you all so much. I really appreciate you guys giving me a little time to share my story, my passion about the industry. And yeah, for sure, whenever you're in the States, man, come holler at me. I got you.
No problem.
Really nice to meet you, Rodrick.
Hey, nice to meet you as well, Jack. Get some rest.
I need a rest. You just taught me to sleep. You too?
Shots fired! Shots fired!
I'm sorry. Oh yeah.
Oh, you'll be being put to bed later, I tell you.
Nah, honestly, all jokes aside, I'm over here, not over there.
Love you, mate. We'll see you
love you guys
soon.
as well. Y'all be blessed. Take
Thanks
care of
very
yourself.
much,
Love, peace, and hair grease. There it is.
Enjoy that party, buddy.
Happy birthday to the daughter.
Yeah, thank you, man. Y'all be blessed.
See you later.
Take care, man.
Right.
See you later.
Well, Jack, bloody hell, he's handful, isn't he?
Mate, he was allowing me have it, wasn't he?
Hey, he'd give you a run for. He'd give me a run for me money. He absolutely wears me out when we're together, but in the nicest possible way. But do you know what? Every time I've ever worked with him, I've taken something away, a little snippet or a little way he gets a piece of information across or a tagline or whatever. And every time,
man.
Oh, every time. And I use loads of his stuff in, my teaching as well. He's just such a lovely and if you meet his missus, Lauren, she's lovely as well. So talented. It's unbelievable. And for them to bring the Hair Lab and the College together in Detroit is something else. Just quickly before we carry on, I know we've gone on a bit with Rodrick, or Mr. Sams, we can call him now because we're friends. Anybody who wants any information or any past podcast, we've got 96 episodes. This is number 96. Coming up soon, we've got Sam Martin of Apothecary 87. He's going to be our next. I'm not exactly sure when we're going to actually film that, but he is next on the list. So you can join me and Jack anytime soon with Sam. What can I say about Mr. Sams? Absolutely inspirational, great bloke, and a really, really, and I say this, and I don't say it about a lot of people, but a really, really nice bloke. And a gentleman. He's got time for everybody, and he really cares about his students. Everybody out there, anybody wants any information, you know where we are. You can message us. We'll try and give you an answer to everything. I know it's been full on. I haven't even been able to get to my phone. I said, because I didn't even want to look down to my phone with who was on tonight or anything. We've just been pulled out of the place. He just makes me laugh. He just mesmerizes me. So we will answer any questions. If you've got any questions, really, really important. Who do you want to see on the show? We are going to bring some panels on as well. So we're going to cover some topics that you want to see. We've already had people phoning in, private messages, emailing the BBA, talking about all matter of things. Cost of living, what's happening with the bills, rent a chair, self-employed, where do we all stand with this? We're going to have some panels on. We're going to have not hearsay, not what I think, not what Jack thinks, or how we interpret the law. We're going to have the proper people on. We're going to have HMRC on here and the people who represent, if you like. So it's going to be the true story. When we get that out there, we don't know. So anything you want to see, anything you want to know, just drop us a line. Hopefully we can get to you before the next show. But Sam Martin is next. We've just seen Mr. Rodrick Samuels. Pleasure. Jack, what did you think of that then? Is that the first time you met Rodrick?
It's the first time I met him. Obviously, I've heard loads about him. He's an incredible human being. But to hear that journey, it's not only, like I said, we made a big point of what he does on the stage and the accolades, but also what he does off stage. Like everyone, we've all got a story. So when I can resonate and relate to someone that wants to help people, especially within communities, it's quite close to home. So yeah, it's incredible. Fair play. Absolutely great guy.
It is. It's a different level. But when you go to the States as well, when you realise the whole, the barbering industry from top to bottom, he represents, the guys who need a lift up as well. Not particularly people who've the haves. He just wants to give everybody a lift up, and he's just fantastic. Remember, you can catch any of the shows on YouTube, Facebook, TikTok's here to stay, so you can get us on there as well. Anything you want to see, you can find, just search us. Stay sharp, and we'll see you next time. Oh,
take care, guys.
Just 2 seconds before we go, we are going to be doing some live shows from China as well in mid-June. So that'll be probably after the next show. So stay tuned and subscribe, and we'll let you know what's coming next. Over to you, Jack.
Absolutely. Thank you so much, guys, for your time. Such a great interview, like we've said, and looking forward for more guests to come. It's a pleasure sat here doing this with you, Gary, yourself as well. So, mate, onwards and upwards here. Looking forward to it.
Cheers, everybody. Good health. See you next time.